Nice work. Are you done with your evil scheming for the day? Sorry about that. Us men always hogging the madam's time. How about a drink? I've got one ready. Boss, good work today. Oh, that ain't bad. Maybe I'll help myself to a little. The harem style. Cyrus gets it in. Let's give him really good service today. If Cyrus quit his job, we'd all be in trouble. Leave it to me. I'll give you a physical lesson in what the boss's perks are. Yes. Though I want Meryl to. Leo, you bastard. I'll bet you're getting so jealous you'll be back here tomorrow. Oh, what's wrong? Wayne, are you going home? I'll pass. Even as we stand here, something troublesome might be starting. There's a lot of young people looking to make a splash. Gotta keep our eyes on them all the time. Oh, some of those young people have gotten quite dignified, haven't they? What do you think? Being a boss makes you popular with the girls, doesn't it? They must be all over you. So have you got yourself a harem, swapping girls every night? I've got no interest in women. I'm going. Letting you mock me has ruined my mood. Boring. We're going back to Cyrus. Looks like he's uptight as ever. That's not true. I think Wayne's a lot calmer than he used to be. You think so? I guess even kids like that can grow up. Maybe it's because he has subordinates now. I think having children changes you a lot. Forgive me, madam. We just received a phone call from a woman calling herself Rapunzel. Is that Frenzel? What could it be? Easy peasy. Wayne, do you have a second? Some trouble? The information isn't confirmed, so I haven't bothered Rose with it yet, but rumor has it that the GDS is plotting something related to the issue with the employment agency. Rumor? What are they supposed to be plotting? I don't know. I obtained it via a certain source, but the details are unknown. For all we know, the GDS is shaking our hand with a blade hidden behind their back. Understood. I'll have a look into it. Wayne got into his car and drove away. As Richard watched him go, he sighed and looked up to the club. It's a business where dirt is bound to turn up. If you poke around, it doesn't matter what. Rose, we need a card in which to force the GDS's hand. What are you doing in a place like this, brother? I was looking for you. Let's grab a drink. Sorry to trouble you. I might as well have a little too. But of course. Take a little break from playing Mafia. Gotta enjoy the wonderful drinks, the singing, the wonderful singing, and wonderful music. Hey, I mean, you're literally doing shit in a black market environment. Even if shit's fake, I mean, what's the problem, right? I mean, being able to have a bargaining chip is way more important than like being like super nice and super honest with everyone. I know it's kind of a shitty thing to say, but that's kind of the reality of the situation. A car driven by Oliver pulled up to the back of a certain bar. Inside, Zell's 4-person group was packed in with a few instrument cases. Hey Zell, is this for real? Yep, totally for real. Well, I'm feeling sort of embarrassed. You really got Madame Rose's permission? Of course, it was Meryl who told us about this bar. Come on, let's go greet the owner. Time to get fired up. If our skill is playing musical instruments, let's show them what we got. While the three certainly had been encouraged to practice with musical instruments, they had never performed. After all, both their early days and now, that skill that had been mocked as being useless. It's useful. I'm Rapunzel, here on Madame Rose's invitation. Oh, so you're with them, are you? I've been waiting. Could never refuse a group introduced by Madame Rose and Meryl. Same. The cheery bar owner guided them to an empty space in the corner of the bar. He had cleared out the space for the performance. It was nice to get a second-hand upright piano, but we never managed to find someone to play it. Today we'd finally be able to breathe life into her. For a long time, the worn-out piano had been little more than a decoration. Every now and then, some drunk would play around with it, but they just hit the keys at random. No serious performance had been heard about from it yet. Because of that, the keyboard had been locked up and the piano abandoned. What do you think, kid? Can you play it? Go on, Oliver. Zell pushed him from behind, and Oliver reluctantly touched the keys. After repeating that a few times, he sat down and tried a light performance. After a while, the silently listening bar owner finally lost control of his excitement and started clapping. Incredible! Oh yeah, having a real player makes all the difference. Yes, this is the sort of bar I wanted. Hey Ma, are you listening to this? The owner excitedly dashed towards the back of the bar. Oliver, seemed more pleased by his reaction than he let on, turned red and continued playing. I've gotten stale. That was nothing worth complimenting. Sure enough. When the old man was still alive, you were a lot better. I guess that means you're all incredibly talented. You think so? If you played instruments in an alley, you wouldn't even get pocket change. Apparently they were completely unaware that their talents were on a level that made it possible to impress people. Hey Zell, are you really that good? Yeah, no doubt about it. The owner came back with his wife and a neighbor who just happened over here. By then, Charles and Nina had finished getting their instruments ready. Come on, let them hear it. Show them what you can do. Charles and Nina looked at each other, then picked up their instruments. A feeling began to well up inside them, a desire to see if their playing would really go over well or not. Okay. On that day, the bar saw more customers than it ever had before. It wasn't just that sudden event caught their fancy. The skill of those three weren't just flattery on Zell's part, but something more than sufficient to earn applause. Each time a song ended, a crowd of drunks rewarded them with a wave of shouts and unrestrained applause. The three of them had never been on the receiving end of so much approval. They had fished through street trash and alleyways, had people call them filthy, and were always being chased away. They were alley rats, never treated as humans. They had been given up because of that. They probably never imagined that they would be bathed in applause one day. I've never had people praise me like this before. It makes me nervous. If you have enough time to be bashful, on to the next one. You say that, but you're the razzest of all of us. Silence! On the next one. Let's get started. So, we don't sound weird, do we? Are we doing it okay? Of course, so be confident in yourselves. The three of them looked at each other and nodded. They weren't timid anymore. For the first time in their lives, their faces showed confidence in themselves. Watching this, Zell understood the true goals of the old man who had taught them how to play. Surely this very day was the big thing that he had wanted to show them. And tonight, the old man's goal had finally been realized. Oliver's piano playing was filled with vigor, as though someone was dancing on the keys. Charles' violin and Nina's string bass had no trouble keeping up. For the first time ever, they're learning that playing instruments can be fun. They had originally been scheduled to play just for an hour, but the owner was so impressed that he said he'd agree to let them play until they dropped. So these three young ones, a passionate performance was already becoming a sport. Their entire bodies were covered in sweat, and their heads swayed as they grew giddy from the excitement. However, they couldn't stop these feelings. They'd never felt from making their youthful vigor explode. Perfect. I wouldn't mind playing until I fall over. Of course you're going to pay us extra for however long we play, right? But of course! I know that even human jukeboxes don't play unless you keep putting money in it. The owner grabbed a bunch of crumpled bills from the register and held them up for them to see. Then the drunks also grabbed some change and started throwing it into the violin case. Whoa, awesome! How much Nikomon can I buy with this? Fool, you can stack all the money up later. Let's do this. I'll play until I drop. Good luck, you three. This should get you enough to eat for a while, no doubt. You gotta do something too, Zell. It's not fair if we're the only ones sweating. Uh-huh. But I can't play any instruments. Singer. Easy. You got a beautiful voice, don't ya? Indeed, Zell's voice does carry well. You get up here too. We're a 4-person group, not 3. That's right, we're already a 4-person group. You at least know how to sing, don't you? Don't you run away when we've gotten this far, Zell. Sing, me. Uh-huh. The drunk started cheering for her to sing. I've got no confidence at all in my singing abilities, but I'd fail as a woman if I didn't step up now. And so, starting that night, we became a band, and this is actually just the story of our band. We are no longer just a group of 4 people living together. We were a 4-person group, literally eating out of the same pot. Almost immediately, we began to get a little well-known. By then, even the 3 who had thought of themselves as dropouts had to admit it. Their training given them an excellent musical ability. The most surprising part was that I had talent as a singer. Yeah, Zell, that was so incredible. You're an awesome singer, aren't you? I can't believe it. That was just crazy. This is all thanks to you guys. You're all performing so excellently, I thought I just had to do something to help. But to think you could sing so well after being asked all of a sudden. Your guts are even more impressive than your singing. You know, when we first heard we had to take care of a sick person who lost her memory, on the inside, we thought it'd be a total pain and we didn't want to do it. To think it would turn into something this incredible like this. Life's so unpredictable. It's all thanks to you, Zal. We really feel bad about how we felt at first. Anyone would think that if they were suddenly told to look after some kid they didn't know. But we do know you now. We're a group of 4 comrades. No, we're not dropouts. And we're not dropouts. If you hadn't encouraged us, we would have been losers for the rest of our lives. So this is what we meant by raising our fortunes. It's about taking action. That's the easiest way to summon good fortune. You never were dropouts. You just didn't take action. There's still a ton more we can do, and then we'll be able to summon greater and greater opportunities. You're our goddess of fortune, Zell. I'll never ignore anything you say again. I'll do everything you say, even cleaning and laundry. I don't like having someone else be the leader, but if Zell tells me to do something, I'll listen. Cheers to the 4 of us, to the goddess of our of fortune, and to our new songstress. Thank you, everyone. What a fucking group. Eventually, even the higher-ups at Primavera heard of our reputation. Then we started playing at Primavera, and we got even more money. We received requests to play at other Primavera establishments, and we began to get popular in the nighttime scene. We performed at several places every night, pouring our young power and passion into our music. Oliver honed his piano skills more and more. One club even ordered to use piano for him. Charles and Nina were very skillful and performed with several kinds of instruments, not just strings. I still couldn't believe I was able to keep up with them. Determined not to slow them down, I emptied my chest and filled it from my stomach to my heart with my voice. As though I didn't mind if I died once the singing was over. Our strengths resonated together and earned us a grand applause every time. During this time, the city had a bit of a boom in live nighttime performances. The sound of instruments could be heard in cheap pubs across City 23. It was a tiny change that our 4-person group had made in the city. And also, though this was probably just people's imagination, rumors were going around that perhaps because the customers stopped to listen to music, fights between drunks were breaking out less often. Entertainment lowers crime every fucking time. Maybe music had the power to bring peace to the world, at least a little. You're welcome, everyone. More money. Let's take a break for a bit. I'm starving. Already? You have no stamina, do you? I won't stumble over something like this. I'll become a wolf on the piano. You really are passionate about this, Oliver. So if you manage to eat well, too, you'll become even more of a wolf. A wolf on the piano? That's hilarious. I'm hungry. Toss us some food, old man. Good work, you 4. The food's on me. Ask for whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a hand for the wonderful performance and our wonderful songstress. Thank you. Is it possible that you're a singer before you lost your memory? Who knows? But if so, that'd be pretty cool. The past has nothing to do with it. Zell is Zell. I get scared every now and then. What if Zell's memory pops back and she goes away? Are you fucking kidding me? This is something all 3 of them had thought. let's not think about it. Without Zell, they wouldn't be who they were now. What if they lost Zell and went back to being dropouts? Don't worry, I apparently didn't have a home after all. Even if my memory comes back, there's nowhere for me to return to. Whether I have my memory or not, this group is where I belong. Zell! You're such a good girl. Stop that, I can't breathe. Only she was a little bit more well-fed. We were told to look after Zell, and she's already the one looking after us. We may have been dropouts when there were 3 of us, but not anymore. But not when we're a group of 4. And there's still a lot more cash we can earn. Look at how much we've made today. Charles shows them, made a show of counting bills, and everyone laughed. With all this, we could buy a ton of Nikumon. Sure. Yeah, let's go buy some in Chinatown on our way back. I wish the fuck they would stop saying these shit. It's so fucking... Just say, like, the fucking buns. Do you have some disease where you die if you don't eat them? Well, we're pretty close anyway. Maybe we can just drop by on our way back. Kinda think of it, we got a lot of yuan bills today. Yuan bills, a currency known as the Japanese yuan, which were used in cities under the management of the Chinese army. Yeah, because the Chinese yuan. Of course, after being occupied by the American and Chinese forces, both Japanese dollars and Japanese yuan were in circulation. In City 23, Japanese dollars were overwhelmingly more common. But as you approached Chinatown, you started seeing Japanese yuan a lot more. This place is close to Chinatown after all. Probably just happened to be mixed in. Listening to music, nationality doesn't matter much, does it? True enough. If you listen into the many conversations filling the bar, you'd hear a lot that wasn't in Japanese. However, thanks to their music, the inside of the bar was filled with a peaceful atmosphere amidst the bustle. The Japanese and Chinese were in high spirits, and both seemed to be enjoying the bar's atmosphere. Oliver, you're thinking of a fight might break out, aren't you? I wasn't thinking that. Your face is saying that if you did. You'd like to mediate it and earn some credit. How about it, Oliver? Do you still want to fight? It's not like I like fighting. I just thought it was the only path that would lead to the ideal I wanted to become. I know that Oliver certainly wasn't a person quick to pick fights. He just thought it was the only way to get closer to the ideal self he wanted to be. If a fight were to break out between Japanese and Chinese people, I'd jump at any time. I'm a wild dog. I may play the piano, but I'll never forget my wolf's heart. It's really important to look out for opportunity. Opportunities never come to people who lose the ability to do that. Your only problem's that you handled all the opportunities you've had until now with violence. Yes, that may be. I'm sure you'll get a huge opportunity before long. After all, your fortune is steadily rising. Yeah, if I do what you recommend, luck will come, even to me. And I feel as though I can seize the next chance if I do as you say. Thank you. I'll make sure you can grab it. That's the only way I can repay the debt I owe you. You owe us? Come on, we're the ones who owe you. It's true. In fact, we got to do something for you to clear the debt we owe. We 3 dropouts will certainly repay our debts to you. Even if the world abandons you, we definitely won't. We'll always lend you our strength. Charles and Nina nodded. Zell felt her eyes getting hot. Thank you. But now I'm thinking I don't care if my memory comes back or not. As long as the 4 of us can always have fun together. You know, I've been starting to think that I could get used to this. It suits my nature. I'm 100 times better at this than nodding to every boring thing customers say to you. True! Oh, God, I'd actually hate... That's the literal worst part about it. You have to act actually interested in everything people say if you're, like, in that profession. Fuck that. Well, I don't want to abandon being a wild dog. Oliver made sure to mention that. Of course, he didn't dislike this new lifestyle. It's just a regret of mine. I'm probably being selfish. Though at the time I was living pathetically in alleys, I wanted to become a man of importance. You wanted to be like Wayne, didn't you? Me, Charles, and Nina. We all wanted to become someone cool. Well, I guess we just weren't suited for it. Well, yeah. If we could have become like that, we'd want to. Even we're wild dogs. I want to accomplish something big and impress Wayne. It's fine. If our music can stop even a single fight, we're helping Wayne. We're basically helping out with what he said, to make sure Chinese and Japanese people don't fight each other. So yeah, this wasn't so bad. We've woken up from a dream and that it's pointless to have, and now we finally found a job we're suited for. That's why we're grateful to you, Zell, and that's why this is just a selfish regret that I have. Sorry for talking so gloomily. Even though we could never thank you enough. I keep on going on about something this trivial. So, you all don't dislike music, but you still want to live as wild dogs? The three smiled uncertainly. They had given up on the position in the criminal underworld, nearly. However, it was hard to cut themselves off from their childhood dream to become a man like Wayne. I'm just full of lingering regrets. Forgive me. I'll try to be very accepting of this correct way to live. A life earning applause with the piano might be surprisingly hard to part with. How unmanly of me! How dare I act like a wolf! Don't take it badly, Zell. I'm just overexcited and rambling on, it seems. I'll go wash my face. I haven't had any alcohol, but I'm still acting like a drunk. Oliver smiled apologetically and rose from his chair. As he did, Zell stood up too and called him to stop. No, it's okay, Oliver. I know. No, I've known for a while. No matter how much musical talent you all have, you're wild dogs with the hearts of wolves. It's the same for you two, right? Music is fun, but you want to become the sort of cool men and women that you admired and impressed Wayne, right? To be perfectly honest, I do feel that way a bit. Still, it's just not possible for a bunch of dropouts like us. I mean, doesn't this get us into the door of impressing people? Like, sure, we might not be, like, wild dogs in the sense, like, oh, we go, like, shoot some people, bang, bang, cool, and kill some people. But, I mean, if you're pretty good at anything, you're gonna be impressed. You're going to impress someone. After looking at each other's faces, Zell sighed. Then she had Oliver sit down and had all lean forward and whisper as though telling a secret. I meddled the way I did because I wanted to you. Oh, fuck. I did because I wanted you to stop thinking of yourselves as dropouts. And I wanted to repay the debt I owed to the people who helped me when I had nowhere to go. So now I'll wipe out your self-impression of being wild dropouts. Wild dog. The three had no idea what she was trying to tell them. However, Zell's forceful words and gaze felt like those of someone determined not to surrender to a gloomy feeling. Someone really need to fucking correct these mistakes, because some are just bad. Didn't I tell you? I've known for a while. I've known that you're all proud wolves. Mad dogs. Mad dogs. I had you all play music so you could gain confidence as the first step of returning to that goal of yours. Unless we blow away that defeated attitude, you won't be able to grasp opportunities. And by being bathed in applause by so many people like this, you've regained your confidence. Because you've regained that, you've regained your real dream. Your dream to become a cool underworld man like Wayne. Since you've regained that, we could move on to the next step. What do you mean, the next step? Isn't it obvious? We're going to accomplish something great as wild dogs and regain Wayne's trust. Music! Something great? How? We haven't received any orders from Wayne, have we? Not all opportunities have to be waited for. Sometimes you can go and grab them. Do you think we've been going from bar to bar just to earn pocket change? I knew you'd say what you did, so I've been working you hard until now. Pretty dumb, so I have no clue what you're saying. I'm totally lost too. Try remembering what sort of establishments we've been going to. Well, they've all been cheap bars, haven't they? Yeah, cheap bars. They're all bars where laborers gather after working hard searching for jobs every day. I don't have a clue what you're saying. Shut up, fool. Zell, you don't mean. Exactly. All the bars we've gone to have one thing in common. People who search for work at the employment agency. It's true that Wayne told us not to do anything that could get in the way. So we aren't. We're just going around performing at bars. You mean we've been going to bars where the employment agent people hang out and... Yes, I've been collecting information. The trouble in front of the employment agency, which Wayne was worried about. I was trying to find some way for us to help regarding that. Fucking Zell. Is that so? I thought we were just going around performing. But we haven't picked up any info. You were all absorbed in your performance. No, it's okay, that's enough. Because you made the atmosphere so peaceful, people were cheery, and that made them talk more freely. On top of that, we were performing here until a second ago, so no one thinks it's suspicious for us to be here. We've been able to openly gather information from what they've said to each other. How long have you been thinking this? Since the beginning. And if I didn't find anything that seemed helpful, I plan to let these end as mere performances. Which means you've heard some vital information. Do any of you know what the backdoor employment agency is? The three of them didn't know, and they wondered what she was talking about all of a sudden. Interesting. They knew what the employment agency was. A lot of people gathered in front of it, waiting for the day labor jobs. However, they never heard of the backdoor employment agency. That just sounds shady as fuck. When you add backdoor to it, it sounds pretty shady. What on earth is this about? That's right, until today, I didn't know what they were talking about. Backdoor employment agency is just my liberal translation of the word, but the Chinese people have been whispering about it in bars here and there. I see. There are bars near the employment agency, so a lot of Chinese people who gather at the agency are here too. But what is this backdoor employment agency? Since you're telling us about it today, you must have reached some sort of conclusion. That's right. First, this is what the Japanese labor complain about a lot lately. There's so many new outsiders, I can't get jobs anymore. Doesn't matter if wages have gone up if we can't get jobs. And after all Madame Rose did to raise wages, no one gets to take advantage of it, and their earnings have actually gone down. Their net earnings have gone down. Or average, I guess. But the possible earnings have gone up. Yeah, it is ironic, but because everyone thinks that, they haven't noticed. What do you mean? Wages have risen. That's why there are more outsiders. That's why there's fewer jobs to be had. Everyone's thinking that, so hardly anyone notices. But some people have noticed. A few of them were talking about it. Hey, aren't there fewer trucks for jobs these days? Yeah, because probably those people are getting the extra money from those contracts that aren't, or like they're just offering lower wages to undercut it. I think so? There's too many people for me to get anything, so I hadn't noticed. Or it's not that they're undercutting it, other people are offering their wages at a lower price, which you can end up squirting through there. No, there's seriously fewer of them. Do you realize how long I've been here? Some employers I haven't seen at all lately. I'm here from morning until night, so there's no doubt. But there's so many more people, it's hard for everyone to notice. I don't really get it, so where did those disappearing trucks go to? I see. So that's what it is. Huh? What? Someone please give a moron a hand. It's probably because of this backdoor employment agency. Jobs managed by Primavera are supposed to be fairly distributed to laborers in front of the employment agency. However, what if someone decided to sell that fairness for money? I don't really get it. Who's buying that what now? People are buying high-wage jobs that they can't get no matter how long they wait. The old daily wage was $200. It's $400 now. However, what if there was some many people that you can only get a job once every 2 days? Even if wages were doubled, if you only get paid once every 2 days, it's the same as your daily wage being $200. What if someone then offered you a job where you got $210 every day? It was natural that poor laborers would listen to that sweet deal. Though 400 wages is supposed to be paid, the laborers are swindled out of 190. However, if it means they can get a stable job, in the end, it means those laborers would fall back into the swindled lifestyle that existed before Madame Rose. So, these are people trying to pilfer those wage increases Madame Rose created. Yep. Damn villains.